Are you in there? Are you watching? Do you see me? Hey dudes, V Jr. here. Once again, gonna carry on the movie collection 2011 videos. Gonna call this one Horror Movie Shelf number 2. So let's dive right in. Hope you guys can see it. The lighting is so-so this afternoon. We'll get into this shelf here. Starting off with the Friday the 13th films, and you'll notice right away these are the deluxe editions. You're probably thinking, where's part 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3? I've been lucky to acquire those over time on Blu-ray. You'll see those in later videos. Moving right into it, His Name Was Jason documentary. This documentary is so-so in my opinion. Never Sleep Again, the one they did for Nightmare on Elm Street's better. I've yet to acquire that one. But His Name Was Jason, it works, but you know. Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, Deluxe Edition. A lot of these have the lenticular holographic cover. Those are pretty cool. The deluxe editions were pretty good in my opinion. They cleaned up the picture quality on most of these. Friday the 13th, Part 5, New Beginning. That's pretty cool. Jason Lives. Guess I'll show you the ones that I have the... Yeah, see his knife moves, his machete moves. Yeah. Part 7, The New Blood. Yeah. Jason versus Carrie. I actually don't have a slipcover on Part 8 because I bought this one recently at Big Lots, and they did not have the slipcover. Shame on you, Big Lots. You notice I don't have Jason Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell, I loaned it out some time ago, and it never came back. So I'm going to have to reacquire that one at a later date. It's not one of my favorites, so anyway, I'll get it one of these days. Jason X, Jason in Space. Getting into the Nightmare on Elm Street flicks, I used to have a hodgepodge mix of those from used movie stores that were box set sequels and just individual covers. I've recently traded all those in. I know it's heresy to some people, and I did acquire the original on Blu-ray. I can highly recommend that. But one of the individuals that I did keep, I got this for $1 at a flea market. It's the Nightmare Series Encyclopedia that came with the first box set, I believe it was, the black ones that had the black spines. This is pretty neat because it's got a huge amount of behind-the-scenes memorabilia and stuff like that from the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I've kept that one, and I traded up a while back and got these multi-packs, which I've become a fan of over the years for sheer fact that they help save shelf space. And I didn't want to reinvest in a box set or anything like that, but this has every one of them in it, so it just seemed like the thing to do. You got the original, Part 2, Part 3, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, Part 5, 6, 7, and even Freddy vs. Jason in there. What's neat about this, I traded these in at a used movie store that I frequent, and got these set for my individual copies, and I didn't have to pay anything. I actually had some trade credit left over. And the funny thing was, Freddy vs. Jason, someone had left the second disc to the, I don't know whether why they did that, but the second disc is in there. It's only supposed to have the first disc from the 2-disc special edition, but I lucked up and got those anyway. Quality's good, saves room on the shelf. Good way to get all the Nightmare on Elm Street films, in my opinion. Some other Wes Craven favorites here. The original Hills Have Eyes. There's Michael Berryman looking at his brooding best there. Look at that cranium. Oh yeah. He is harrowing and nasty. It says Entertainment Weekly. I always like Hills Have Eyes. I don't like the sequel to that one from 1985, but I like that one. Last House on the Left, MGM release. It's got some special features on it. Not a whole lot. There was a re-release to coincide with the remakes release of the movies. I don't have that one, but I do have the new release of the original on Blu-ray, which was a recent acquisition that I'll talk some more notes about that later on the picture quality and everything. Blair Witch 1 and 2. I like Part 2. I'm one of the few out there that actually like it. I don't know why. I know it's nothing like the first, and it's just a total cash-in flick, but I got this for $2. It's a DVD plus CD. It's got the music from the movie as well. Got this at Big Lots back when they had $2 movies. So anyway, Blair Witch 1 and 2, and I actually got the Blair Witch on Blu-ray as well. I'll talk about the Blu-ray about that later. Amityville 1, original, Amityville 2, Amityville 3D, which is not 3D, it's just a standard copy of the movie. I didn't get the box set of these, I just acquired these over time, either at Big Lots or at the used movie store, or at flea markets, wherever. Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Bruce Campbell and the Army of Darkness. This is the bootleg, or it's an Anchor Bay disc, but it's the kind of got the brown paper bag over top of it. It's the official bootleg edition. I do have another version of this. I have the HD DVD of this. I can highly recommend the HD DVD transfer of this. I don't know how the Blu-ray looks, but Army of Darkness looks great in HD. Hellraiser 1 and 2, the only Hellraiser films that I like. I'm not a real big Hellraiser fan. I mainly have these in my collection to be a completist, and these were cheap when I got them, so anyway. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Steelbook here. If you don't have the Blu-ray of this, I would still get the DVD of this because the DVD looks awesome. It has all the same special features on this that the Blu-ray has, I believe. I think there might be some minor differences. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, good old Part 2 with Dennis Hopper in it. I've grown to like this one. It's for nostalgic purposes. It's kind of like the same difference with Howling 1 and Howling 2. The Howling, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 is a classic. Part 2, I like it for sheer cheese factor. If you're going to get this one, get this gruesome edition. That's the one I'd highly recommend. It just seems to have all the special features that you would want in a special edition. Beware of the bare bone edition. So another Tobe Hooper movie that I really love is The Funhouse. I'm not sure if this one's out on Blu-ray yet, but it would look awesome in Blu-ray with all the Funhouse things in the movie, just in my opinion. It needs a special edition, man. I've always wanted to learn more about this movie, the production behind it and everything of that nature. But sadly, all we got is this good old bare bone edition. Getting into the Phantasm films, Phantasm Original, and the MGM edition. I have this Anchor Bay re-release and the MGM edition that came out before it. I think they have different special features in them. Both of them sport a good little batch of special features, a special edition version, behind the scenes, that type of thing. If you're going to go for special features, I would probably go with Phantasm on the Anchor Bay edition. If you're going to go for picture quality and sound, I actually like the MGM version better. Now, it's probably wrong, but you're welcome to differ with me. That's all fine with me, but that's just my personal opinion. I've hung on to this one because it has different special features than the Anchor Bay disc has. Of course, you've got Phantasm 2, next to the original, one of my favorites in the series. And of course the Part 3, Lord of the Dead, and Part 4, Oblivion. There's actually a special edition of this one out too. This is the bare bone release. Just haven't gotten around to getting the other one. Fright Night 1 and Fright Night 2. These two movies scream for special editions, or at least a Blu-ray release, especially the first one. So it's an 80s classic. I mean, you know. Hopefully with that hideous Fright Night remake they're making, they'll throw us a Blu-ray our way. That's the best thing about remakes anymore, is you get Blu-ray releases and re-releases of special editions a lot of times. Cat People, the 1982 or 83 version. I've got this on HD DVD. It looks a little bit better than a DVD, but not much. Another little classic that I love from the 80s, Pumpkinhead, A Grim Fairy Tale. Good Stan Winston direction in that one, I believe. I think it was one of the few films he ever directed. Stars Lance Henriksen. It's one of my faves. Here's a little quad pack, Pumpkinhead 2, Leprechaun. Just watched Leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day. It's like, I don't know, I made it kind of a self-imposed classic around the house. I have to watch Leprechaun on St. Patty's Day now. Wishmaster 1 and 2. I like Wishmaster 1 okay. Wishmaster 2 not so much. Moving on, we got House, another 80s classic. I need to get House 2 on DVD, man. I've set my sights on it. I've got a couple options out there on eBay and stuff I'm looking at. Zombie, Lucio Fulci. The original Wicker Man with Christopher Lee. I recommend either tracking down a full uncut VHS version of this movie. The special edition 2 disc, I believe it came out. It's the uncut version, which adds about 15 more minutes to the film. It kind of fleshes out Christopher Lee's character and fills in some plot holes and gaps there. But the Lionsgate original Wicker Man, it'll get the job done. Scarecrows, vampires, Candyman. Oh, here's a good one from the 80s. I love this one. Trick or Treat. I did a review on this some time ago. Search through my old reviews. You'll be able to find it. I'll give you some more more in-depth opinions on it. Just needs, this is more or less a full screen Laserdisc port that came out from what I've been told on DVD. I've never seen a widescreen region 1 of it, so I remain hopeful one of these days they'll put it out. Reanimator, classic. Return of the Living Dead. This is the one with the glow-in-the-dark cover, the special edition. I did recently get the Return of the Living Dead Blu-ray. The Blu-ray checks out pretty good. Near Dark 2-disc special edition. Pretty good version of it if you ask me. The Company of Wolves, the Blob remake from the 80s, pretty cool. Monster Squad, little 80s childhood classic of mine, or favorite of mine. And again, if you didn't see the first part, I put my newer horror movies on top in a horizontal fashion versus the more classic versions of movies on the vertical stacks there. Just a weird way I do it. Bubba Hotep, little horror comedy. Shadow of the Vampire, good kind of horror drama. Sleepy Hollow. Event Horizon, kind of a sci-fi horror. Cloverfield, I like Cloverfield. I know I'm kind of in the minority, but I like that one. The others, it's grown on me over time. Me and my wife, it's kind of a couple's night kind of thing. We watched that on video when it first came out, and we liked it. I picked it up for $3, and I put it in the collection. Urban Legend, it's one of the Scream, kind of, not really Scream ripoffs, but all the slashers that were coming out around the Scream rebirth of the slasher genre. I've always enjoyed Urban Legend. It's got some good scares in it, good special effects. I've always enjoyed it. 30 Days of Night, don't know what happened with the sequel to that one, but 30 Days of Night's solid vampire film. Dawn of the Dead remake, one of the few remakes that I like. 28 Weeks Later, I have the 28 Days Later on Blu-ray. See that later. Bug, good creepy little movie from, I believe the fellow who directed The Exorcist, William Friedkin. It's probably not his finest hour, but I've got to revisit that soon. I got this for like, I think $1 from Movie Gallery. It's unopened. It's previously viewed, but I got to get it out one day and watch it. Know What You Did Last Summer, double feature with Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Dead Silence, a highly underrated creepy film from James Wan. White Noise, another underrated one that people don't talk about a whole lot, especially the first one. I don't know about the sequels, but the first one's really good. The Prophecy with Christopher Walken. Really enjoyed that one. Got a lot of dark humor in that movie too. Here's a little stack of other films I put up there. Flatliners, just kind of a guilty pleasure from the early 90s. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, double pack there. This is a screener copy that was sent to me for reviewage I've done recently. Haunting in Georgia, Haunting in Connecticut. I'm kind of biased. I love those ghost hunting shows, and this is something that I kind of like to watch every once in a while, these documentaries on true life events or based on true life events. Yes, I own Hostel. A lot of people, it's kind of a camps divided movie. Some people hate it, some people don't. The only thing is, I've noticed that I revisit the original Hostel, but part 2, and I just can't get into part 2. It just seems like it's just a rehash of the original, and I don't know. Hostel 1 I like, Hostel 2 not so much. I don't even have it in the collection, I don't think. Oh, wait a minute, I've got Hostel 2 around here somewhere. I think it might be on Blu-ray, I'm not real sure. I think from a real cheap score that I got recently. Anyway, Witches of Eastwick, I was kind of on the fence. This is more of like a comedy, dark humor movie, but it has to do with witches and stuff like that, so I put it in the horror movies. Interview with the Vampire, good adaptation of an Anne Rice novel from what I know of it. I don't read a whole lot, so anyway, that was your tour around the horror movie shelf number 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will catch you next time. Rock on, my brethren. Rock on. Yeah.